Old Navy, now through Sunday, in stores, last-minute gifts are just $1, $2, $3, and $4. That's right, great stocking stuffers start at just $1 right now at Old Navy. Hurry, it ends Sunday, valid 12/22 to 12/24. Select styles in stores only.
Are you ready to unapologetically unleash your bold and define your life, money, and business? Define You Radio class is in session with host the Southern Belle of Bold, Valencia Griffin-Wallace, brings you the stories behind the glory. Hear from women and men who decided that life didn't define them. They were going to define themselves. Pen and papers ready. Class is now in session.
Wow, don't you guys just love the 2017 intro? I'm just saying, I do love it. Good evening and welcome to Define You Radio. If this is your first time joining us, thank you so much for letting us define your Tuesdays. I'm your host, the Southern Belle of Bold, Valencia Griffin-Wallace. Make sure you connect with the show on the Facebook page. Define You Radio, Mastering Your Money. Also, you can follow us on Blog Talk Radio. That way you get all the show updates and know, the next show and everything. So make sure you follow us and find us on social media. So here on Define You Radio, we are all about helping you define your life, relationships, business, and money. And today we are being joined by a great friend of mine. She was also a speaker at Define You Live 2016. It feels funny saying that because it's barely 2017, but she was a speaker at Define You Live 2016. She's so knowledgeable, guys. I hope you guys have your pens and papers ready because there's no doubt Miss Lexi Jones will be dropping the nuggets and giving you what you need and more to unleash in 2017 and to define your money. So before I bring Miss Lexi on, let me tell you a little bit about her. She's a transformational speaker, an author, a business and financial coach. She's a change agent delivering mind-shifting talks and workshops. And when I say mind-shifting, that's exactly what I mean. She disrupts the status quo. I can't even talk. I'm so excited about today's show. And you guys know I always talk about status no. Well, that's how you know Lexi is the woman to discuss today's topic. With that being said, Miss Lexi, are you there?
I am here. Thank you so much, Miss Valencia, for having me on your show. I'm just thrilled, excited, and just grateful for the opportunity. Hello, everyone out there in Define You Land.
I like that. I'm going to have to use that and just call it Define You Land. So,
absolutely.
Thank you, and welcome to Define You Radio again. And, guys, if you were part of the Define You Radio family in 2016, you heard her voice, you know her, some of the information she's bringing. So, Lexi, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about you and what you do, because I'm sure you can expand on the quick bio I gave.
Sure. Thank you. I am dubbed Purposeful Lexi. That's where you can find me on all social media. And I call myself that because I help people to understand their purpose, determine their niche, and to monetize it. I've been doing it for more than 15 years. And in specifically speaking, in terms of the financial coaching, I really have a passion for doing that, particularly for women. Valencia, you've heard a little bit of my story, and I think some of your listeners, if they've heard me before, heard a little bit of my story, how in 2008 I lost everything, talking about home, car, everything. All I had was my children and the clothes we had on our backs, a few little belongings that we had, and that was about it. And I had determined at that point that I was not going to be in a situation like that ever again. And so I am very passionate about helping women. People may say, why women? And just so you know, 85 to 90%, depending on what statistic report you read, 85 to 90% of women control the purse strings. And so when we talk about the fallout in terms of finances, whether it's, health-related, mental stress or any of those things, if the majority are women handling the purse strings, guess who's suffering from all the fallout? Women.
That is so true. I know in my household, and like you said, what was the statistic? 80 to 90% of women.
Depending on which report you read. Yeah.
Right. I do believe that's true, because I know in my household and most households I know, women, even though you hear that men are smarter when it comes to those things, I guess, and I'm doing my air quotes, guys, but women do, direct and control the money. And a lot of times, Lexi, what I find is that we're doing it not necessarily by choice, but more because, I don't know, maybe we focus better, it's more important to us. I really don't know, but financial education, whereas it's not, fun, it's necessary. Or I'm not going to say it's not fun, because let me not say that. But it's not top of people's list. It's on the top of that to-do list, but that done list it's not. I see a lot of us are lacking in the education part of dealing with finances. So
yes,
just thank you again for being here just to share with us. And I love that you touched on losing everything, and really kind of that was your defining moment. I'm not going to be here again.
Absolutely. I made up in my mind that I was not going to be there again. So I didn't have all the answers at that moment, but I knew that I wasn't going to be there again.
So do you now, maybe not then, but now, if I ask you what are your strengths, is that definitely your strength now versus before you had to make it your strength?
Yeah, you're right, because it started out, kind of as a necessity, and now that I've gotten the education, and I'm not talking about, education from school or education that the traditional financial institutions give you, because they certainly don't want you to get ahead. That's a whole other topic. But I'm talking about the education they won't give you. And so when I learned those things, I was so super excited and so hopeful again. And so it just became a passion of mine. And now, yes, it's a strength, but it's something that I continue to study and continue to, get better at, and continue to learn so that I can stay sharp and, continue to teach everyone else.
I love that. A lot of times we don't marry, quote unquote, our strengths with our passion, or our strengths with our purpose. And I'm so glad that you found a way to do that, because I know I've learned a lot from you, which brings us to today's topic, mastering your money.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I believe that our life experiences contribute very greatly to our passion, who we serve and why we do what we do.
So when it comes to money, now Bill Gates have this quote that I love, and it's actually the quote of the week, so to say. If you are born poor, it's not your mistake. But if you die poor, it is your mistake.
Hello.
I thought you would like that.
Hello.
I had to sit on that. I mean, a lot of us aren't or I'll say some of us aren't necessarily born poor, but we have poor financial habits.
Yes.
And
let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about that word poor for a minute. So oftentimes when we say the word poor, we're thinking about the very physical thing of it, not having money or living in a certain part of town or, we think about those things. But for me, poor is a mindset. More than anything else. It has nothing to do with where you live, how much you make, what you know or don't know about money. It's a mindset.
I love that. That is true. It is a mindset because you can always gain more knowledge. There's so many free resources that you can gain knowledge in certain areas to kind of wet your throat, so to speak, enough to, give you some knowledge, and then you have to seek out the rest, and to get more detailed. So when we talk about
Absolutely.
finances, and I know today we're going to talk about saving money. So if you want to go ahead and kind of go in.
Thank you. Go in.
Just go in.
Yes, absolutely. Saving money is one of the favorite aspects of just the whole money talk that I really enjoy talking about. And here's why. I sit down with a lot of individuals and families to coach them financially. And oftentimes what I hear is, listen, I'm paying Peter, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I barely have enough money at the end of the month. How am I supposed to save? I got this bill, that bill, all kinds, things going on, and how am I supposed to save? And so I want people to understand, again, it goes back to the mindset, right? First of all, if we're focusing on what we don't have, if we're always focusing on lack, we will always lack.
Wow.
Because what happens is, and this is scientific as well, what happens is you shut down the brain, and the brain will not explore opportunities. But if you are open to possibilities, open to learning, open, you give yourself permission to do that. You give your brain permission to do that. Your brain begins to focus on, okay, what can I do? How can I do it? Right? So that's the first thing that we have to understand is the mindset. And I have a whole session on mindset. So I can't even begin to cover that. But that's the first thing that we need to understand. Secondly, we need to understand that it's not about how much money we have. So people will also tell me when I sit down with them, if I just could make some more money, if I had, if I was making six figures like so-and-so down the street. And I'm saying this. I sat down with people making $9 an hour, and I sat down with people making six figures and more. And they're in the same situations. They're in the same situations, robbing Peter to pay Paul and upside down in their finances and everything like that. So it's not about what you make. It's not about what you make, okay? It's more about what you're able to save. It's, first of all, more about, the mindset. Second, it's about what you're able to save. And you don't have to be, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think a lot of people, even me at one point in time, you think I just need to make more money. If I could make more, I could save more. And what I learned was the more I made, the more I spent. And I'm sure a lot of the listeners can relate to that, even though you hear if you get a raise or if you get a bonus, act like it didn't happen and put that in savings or whatever else. Yeah, ideally, because I've heard that. Have I?
Right.
Did I ever do that? No.
Exactly. 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 Right? Because we got all kinds of plans before the money even get here. We got all kinds of plans for it that doesn't include saving. But tonight I just wanted to share a few different ways, some tips on how we can save, and some of them may be things you've heard before. Some of them may not have been things you heard before, or maybe you've heard before, but maybe you haven't quite considered it the way I'm bringing it tonight. So I wanted to bring some tips. I got 100 of them. We ain't got all the time for those. So we'll get through what we can get through.
Yeah. Yay,
and then,
I'm excited.
Hey, at the end, I can tell you how you can, get the rest of those. But, so, one of the things is, and I'm sharing these in no particular order, just as they come to my brain. And we were talking before the show, it's a good time to talk about money. People just got done with Christmas, and, people are still doing a lot of, Christmas shopping and going in debt for Christmas and the holiday, and not just Christmas, just the holidays in general, right? Whether you go travel to see family or they come see you and you got to feed everybody, house everybody. So we tend to spend more. And this is a good time to talk about how, to save a few dollars. And so one of the things that I always often tell people to consider, especially people with children, don't spend big money on entertaining your children. Do not spend huge money on entertaining your children. When I was working in corporate one time, I had a coworker who would tell me his daughter had a birthday coming up, and they did this big, huge thing for her outdoors, and, it looked like a carnival or something, So then the next year came around, and he was feeling like he has to, top that. Now, the child is like 5, 6 years old, 7 years old, Children don't need all of that. We want to give them all of that, but they don't need all of that. Really, all children want really is our time. They just want our time. So we don't have to spend a whole lot of money trying to entertain our children. At least they want our time until they get 16 years old.
Right.
Then they don't want the time.
Right. And it's funny that you say that about spending money on your kids. I remember when Cameron made one, okay, and don't laugh. I gave him 2 birthday parties.
I ain't going to laugh because I was there with you.
Okay. I don't know why this was, Cam is almost 20 now, but I had 2 birthday parties. I didn't even know how to be a parent by the time Cameron made one. But I just, and I see my older cousin owns a event planning, party planning business. And so I see some of these ridiculously extravagant birthday parties people are spending on kids.
Yeah.
Cameron can't even remember what he got for Christmas last year.
Exactly.
And I was trying to, I don't know, who I was trying to impress or what it is, keeping up with the Joneses. I definitely was not a Jones at 21,
Right.
So, I love that tip.
Yeah, I totally understand. Totally understand. And I'm going to tell you, I ain't laughing at you because I was right there. I did the same thing for my 21-year-old when she was 1. Had this huge old party. It's full of adults, and it's just craziness. Just craziness. But I have a 1-year-old now. Yes, I was 21-year-old. The last one was 1. I have a 1-year-old now, and she just had a birthday in December. We didn't do a big old, party like that for her. The money, that I had that I would spend on a party, I took that and started a college fund for her.
Love that.
So,
love that.
Okay. Another tip that I can give you in terms of saving money, if you have credit cards, negotiate your interest rates with your credit card companies. Negotiate your interest rates with your credit card companies. You absolutely have the right to do that. You do not have to sit there and take the percentage that they are offering you. And then if they are, just, being ornery and they don't want to come down on the interest rate, because the interest rate right now on these credit cards, I'm telling you, are like 24%. But it's up there.
Right.
So if they don't want to come down on it, then do a balance transfer. Transfer money to another card that has a lower interest rate. Because
and what do you recommend?
Because kill you.
A lot of times people don't even know their interest rate on their credit cards.
Absolutely.
How can they find it out?
So they tell you. It's just all in that small print, right, that we don't like to read. You know, for some reason we just think that stuff doesn't matter, or I don't know. We don't read it. But they tell you. They tell you right in that small print what your interest rate is. In fact, when you're applying for it, they tell you what your interest rate is. When you get your credit card, your monthly statement, your interest rate is on there every month. Every month it's on there. So don't be, how can I put this nicely? Just read your credit card statement.
or call them. Or call them.
Call them, right.
A bad habit I used to have, I would get the mail. I would see, it's from the credit card, and I wouldn't even look at it, honestly.
Yeah. Yep.
And a lot of times
you just
don't,
look at, right. You just look at, okay, what's the minimum payment I need to make?
Yeah.
And you pay that, that's why interest kills you, because you're only paying the minimum. And if you're only paying the minimum, you're only paying interest. You're never paying on the principal of whatever it is you bought. And so if you purchased on your credit card a laptop and it was, let's say, $3,000. I don't know a laptop that costs that much, but let's just say
a Mac.
Okay. And then, and you're paying only interest. Well, you can end up paying, $5,000, over, of course, 5, 6, 7 years, depending on what your interest rate is for a laptop, which probably by that time isn't even working anymore, and you had to go get another one. So we have to be smart, about those things. Again, there's a lot I could say about credit cards, but again, the tip is negotiate your interest rates. If they don't want to negotiate, transfer your balance to a credit card that has a lower interest rate, and then, again, make sure you're paying more than the minimum. So.
And I want to add this: when in doubt, call customer service.
That's right. Just call them. They're gonna tell you.
Right. Even if you're not sure on how to go through the process of transferring a balance, or even what that means, Google.
Exactly.
Call them.
The information is there.
Yeah.
The information is there. And not only, you're negotiating an interest rate, but know how they're charging you that interest, too. Don't have time, but there's 6 different ways a credit card company can charge you interest. So.
Wow. I have questions. Not now. I'm not going to ask them now. That's like a whole other, defining your money.
Yeah,
credit
I'm
card
telling you,
edition,
all of these will be a whole little class by themselves.
Right.
So here's one that we probably don't even think of. And my tip to you would be turn the television off. Now, I'm not talking about saving money for your electricity or nothing like that. No, even though that, you may save a few pennies doing that. But turn the TV off. Here is why. There are so many advertisements and things on there. We're sitting there watching TV, and these people, they know exactly what they're doing when they put these advertisements together. They understand the psychology behind all of that and the science behind people and how they think and behavior and all of that. So they know. You sitting there, you just thinking, I'm watching a commercial, before you know it, you're like, I got to have one of those.
Right.
Turn the television off. And then there's some of us who like to watch, and it's not that I have anything against these shows, but if it's affecting, you can save some pennies, turn it off. Some of us like to watch HSN and all these little home shopping network and things like that. We're always buying stuff,
Right.
So turn it off. Turn it off. We see more advertisement than we see the television shows anyhow. And you can stream the shows without the advertisements or something. So.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna tell you how I save money, kind of having to do with that. I don't watch TV. I record certain programs. I'll go back, watch it, fast forward the commercials, and I mainly watch, like Netflix or something like that. So I don't even know what movies are out.
Mhm.
So, and you guys know you could spend a good $40-50 at the movies, but because I don't know what movie is coming out, I'm not, I want to go see that movie, all the O's, and then I'm going to the movie because I've been saturated with this advertisement for this movie that will eventually end up on TV for free or on Netflix or something of that nature. That's just my tip.
Absolutely.
That's how I do it.
Absolutely. That's a great example. I couldn't have given a better one. Great example.
Yay. Now, if I could find how to get rid of some other areas I spend money, I'll be all good in the savings department.
Hey. Another tip is we are a society that we just throw things away. I mean, with the quickness, we just we get a little hole in our shirt or our socks, and we will throw them suckers away. And my thing, and go out and buy another $15 shirt and get a hole in that the next week and throw it away, and be like, I got to go get another shirt. Because they don't make clothes like they used to.
True.
They don't last very long. And so my tip here is repair your clothing, man.
Oh, Lord.
Repair your clothing, okay? And so I'm not talking about big, huge rips or, stuff like that, but repair your clothing, okay? Now, listen, I don't sew, I don't put in patches and none of that, but my mama does, and she's happy to do it. So, I let her do it because I don't sew, right? So maybe you sew, and so, so utilize that, do that. And if you don't, find somebody who does. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather kick them a couple dollars to sew it than go buy, another $15, $20 shirt or $40 pair of pants when the pants are good. You know what I'm saying? They're good.
That one I'm marinating on a whole lot because I could just think within the last month in my cleaning out my closet before the new year moment, how much stuff I threw away that could have been sold, but my philosophy 2016 or my mindset 2016, I'll just throw it away and get another one. Not, but that's the whole purpose of the show because now I won't do that. Not if it could be, sewn, even though I don't know how to sew, but, I could figure, I could figure it out. I know where there's a seamstress or whatever, but I'm serious, like skirts. I've thrown away skirts, shirts, all to have to replace them because, it's something I needed, but I never thought about that, but I guess I've been told.
Yes. I used to, because my mom just loves doing this stuff, and so when she would be at the house, she'd see things need to be sewn or whatever, she would just sew it, and somehow I would get like annoyed by it, like, why she, sew up my socks and da da da. But girl, honey, these I'm telling you, I am happy to have. Look, you sew this because I ain't planning on buying a shirt for another 6 months.
Right, that's awesome. That's what I'll be doing 2017 instead of just throwing stuff away. I'm gonna get it repaired because it's less money I could save and do other stuff with.
Absolutely.
So, yay.
Absolutely.
I'm loving the tips.
Good. Now, here's an area. Now, this area is hits me right at home because I am a lover of books, right? I will spend money, you hear me? I will spend, like some of y'all women spend on shoes and purses and things. I can care less about shoes and purses, but books, honey, I will spend money on books, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to figure that thing out. And so here's my tip in regards to that. Swap books. You know, you can do that with your music, your DVDs, and all that stuff too. Swap them instead of, you know, going and buying new books all the time. Somebody out there has the book you want, and you have a book they want. Swap the books.
Of course, I would hear this right after I spent, I don't know what kind of money on my book for my 2017 reading list.
Hey, I understand. I told you that's my weakness.
You know, and I know people that have this book that I bought. Like, I know I could drive to them that have this book that I bought.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Now, look, I have to get on myself because I'm that person that's like, but I have my own fresh book. I got to have, you know, I got to have. I mean, you know, new and crisp, and you know, I want to be able to make my own notes in mine.
Right.
Yeah, you know, I come up with all kind of excuses because I love books, but I can't even let myself off the hook.
And then truthfully, I paid because I had to have the book, right? I had to have this book. I paid close to $30 for this book. Yeah. And then I could have ordered it online and saved money. I could have saved money. So that's $30 I could have bought groceries with, you know, or something.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Right.
You
or
just
save.
Left, right, and sideways.
Well, here's another one that affects everyone. I don't care if, you know, you have kids, don't have kids, it's just you, or you have a spouse or whatever. This one affects everyone. Plan your meals around the grocery store ads.
Okay.
Plan your meals around the ads. Whatever they've got on sale that week, you cook something around that. You know, and another thing about grocery shopping is to, particularly when it comes to fruit and your produce, purchase those things when they're in season. Right? So strawberries are not in season right now. I am not buying strawberries.
Wow. I never thought about that as far as, well, honestly, I don't really pay attention to the ads. But now, you know, 2017, we're unleashing, we're doing better. I will start, and especially because it'll help me plan my meals, because I always have a struggle when it's time to plan the menu for the week. So I love that. That'll make my life easier, plus save me money.
Yes, absolutely. So that's one that I picked on, let's see, maybe about 3 years now. And I absolutely love that. I have this list, and it's on my refrigerator of what's in season when. So it goes through all the months, January, and it lists out what's in season, February, what's in season, March, what's in season. So that, you know, when I go in the store, I know to get those things that are in season because they're cheaper, you know. So.
Wow. Those are some great tips. I hope you guys are following along on the Define You Radio Mastering Your Money page on Facebook, where I put a couple of the tips in there that Lexi gave. Wow. Let me ask you about, like, different websites, and I'm doing my air quotes. Like, I discovered eBay, where because I do a lot of online ordering, and someone, you know, sent me the link where I could join Ebates. And do you know about Ebates, or do you use Ebates?
Yeah, I don't use Ebates, but I am familiar with it. Yeah.
Well, because it's like order your stuff online, let's say if you do, Walmart, Amazon, or
Mhm.
whatever, if you go through Ebates and you could save money and it pays you money back. Because
Right.
I think I joined in like November, and
Yeah.
I've already gotten like $50 back and they
Mhm.
deposited. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I guess it'll be even cooler if I say, okay, if I direct it to a savings account
Yes.
instead of just
Absolutely.
my
See?
checking account. So that's my tip, guys. That's my tip. Sign up for if you have
eBay.
questions about Ebates, inbox me. I will send you a link because guess what? If I refer you, you sign up, I get money from that too.
Absolutely. 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 Yeah.
So I'm
So
gonna start.
I'm all for programs like that, and there are a couple of programs out there that are like that. It's almost it's very similar to like when you have debit cards or credit cards that give you money back, perks back. They might give you
Mhm.
money back. They might give you mileage, flight mileage or something like that. That's the other thing when you're looking for debit cards, credit cards to use. Check and see what kind of perks, you can get, when you get
Mhm.
something back. So,
Especially when it comes to like gas points and different things like that, because we all know that gas fluctuates. So
Mhm.
if you could save whatever, saving something is better than nothing when it comes to those perks. So we have to,
Yeah.
you signed up for it. Don't be scared to listen to call and use your perks. A lot of times we scared to call and ask.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
Then,
yay.
absolutely.
Well, I want
Another
to,
one.
number one.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you got one more? Okay, go ahead. No, I'm going
No,
to let you
if we
roll.
don't have time, it's fine.
Oh, no, we have plenty of time. I'm sure the
Oh.
listeners would love to get a couple more of these tips. I know I'm learning. I'm taking my notes. So go ahead, Miss Lexi.
Okay, cool. So another one that I can think of here is this is not new, but, we have to be reminded of this. So do I cancel any unused club memberships or subscriptions you have to this and that? I know that, sometimes I can be, I'm not thinking about that because you'll sign up for something because there's a free trial period, right? 7-day
Yeah.
period, 14-day period, 30-day period, or whatever. And then you forget to cancel this, right after the trial period, and then they're automatically taking out of your account. And some people, they just let it come out of the account even though they're not using the service of whatever it is that they subscribe to. You're not using the service, so cancel that. I was down with people and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's $12 coming out for this thing every month," and I'm like, "But are you using it?" So
Right.
that's $12 you could be saving, right? When you talking about you don't have money to save, you do.
Right. And I think a lot of times, hold on, I'm doing the math. That's $144 a year.
Come on now.
You basically giving away. And I know a lot of times now we go hard and heavy in the gym for January and February, and then don't touch the gym after
Right.
February. I'm not saying me because I've learned my lesson.
Right.
But, a lot of people, you go hard and heavy the beginning of the year for those gym memberships that's free for, 2 weeks. And then after that, you're being charged $30 a month. But you don't cancel it, even though you're not going back. And that's a
Right.
lot of money. Like, if there's no penalty, because of course they'll try to do penalties, but cancel it. So I think a lot of times we look at saving wrong. We look at we'll have to take something from the house. No, you're already taking whatever it is from the house for a membership you're not using.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've just gotten to the point with those types of things where, I'm like, no, forget the free trial or whatever, unless I am definitely going to be using it. It has a purpose. I don't, if I'm just trying to get the free trial because I want to watch this one show like we did a few years ago, We wanted to watch a certain sports thing, and we couldn't watch it on the channels that we already had. The free trial, before you know it, you're being charged monthly for that stuff. So we don't do that anymore. We don't do that anymore. And the last one I'll give. Go ahead.
No, but I was going to say, we forget. We forget till the charge come, and then we forget to call to cancel the membership. A lot of us are guilty of that too.
Exactly. And the last one I'll give, so we can give time for you to do whatever you need to do, or questions, or comments, or whatever. When you're out and about purchasing things, or even when you're sitting behind your laptop purchasing things, when you pick up something to purchase, take 10 seconds and ask yourself, what purpose is this serving? What purpose is this serving?
That's great. That's a good tip. And, in preparation for this show, because I was online about to order something, and I said, no, I'm going to wait till after the show. And so now I got to ask myself that question right there. And I'll let you know if I order what I was looking for. We could always find a reason to spend money. My birthday's coming up. Yeah, my birthday coming up. I need this new shoe or this new whatever.
Always find any old reason. What purpose is it serving now?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna have to debate.
What purpose is it serving, and ask what is the return on my investment?
Oh goodness, Lexi.
There you go.
So I guess I won't be purchasing this particular item. Now I know the purpose is, I like it. Is there a return on investment? No. So, and I'm, unleashing and defining my money in 2017. I have to do better because so I guess that answers that question. Guys, if you have any questions or comments on today's show for me or Miss Lexi, just press 1 on your phone and I will get you on the line. So with that being said, while we wait to see if anyone have any questions or comments, let's talk about your book project, The Speaker's Notes.
Yeah, absolutely. So The Speaker's Notes is a collaboration of 4 speakers. It was myself, Tamisha Allen, Katie Johnson, Scott Dawson, all of us who speak professionally. And we got together and we just decided that we wanted to write a book about certain areas in our lives that was really important to us and to people that we serve, and we wanted to write about our experiences in those areas, and particularly what were the words that, as we were going through those things, what were the words that we heard that helped us to come out of those situations. So I wrote in the area of finances 3 chapters. Each of us wrote 3 chapters. And so I wrote 3 chapters in the area of finances. Should I give my testimony of, what happened with me in terms of finances and the things that I learned so that I could get out of that situation, and those things those concepts are still the concepts that I'm applying today to stay out of that situation.
And the book is not just for speakers.
No.
It's the story.
Absolutely. It's for everyone. It's entitled The Speaker's Notes because, you're getting our notes, They may have been our notes from, diary or a journal or, whatever, but you're getting our behind-the-scenes notes.
And where can they purchase that if they want to find out more and possibly purchase the Speaker's Notes?
So if you want to purchase the speaker's notes, you can go to bit.ly/the speaker's notes. bit.ly/the speaker's notes.
And I have posted that website, guys. Make sure you check that out. I definitely will be, because it's always good to get in the mind of other people and see what led them to where they are. Now, so I touched on that. Now, I want to talk about your challenge you have going on. Tell us a little bit about the challenge you have going on right now.
Yes. I'm excited about that. So I have a Facebook community, and, every now and then we're doing different types of challenges. And so we started this money challenge that will take us throughout the year. It's a 52-week money challenge. It's not anything like new or something that I invented or anything like that. That saving schedule, has been out and about and people are doing it. But there's something about doing something, as a group. You're more excited about it. You're more apt to do it because there's some accountability there. So
right.
I started the Nexus Women Save 52-week money challenge. And really we're just by the end of the year, and, and small. We're not talking like big stuff. So, but just I want people to know that you can save, that it's possible. You can do it. And so by the end of the year, with this savings plan, you start with $1 and you add $1, each week. So $1 in the first week, and then $2 in the next week, $3 in the next week, so on and so forth. But at the end of the year, then we'll have, like I said again, nothing huge, a little over $1,300. But the idea here is to show you that you can do it, and it does not take big lump sums of money for you to do it. You can do it. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to show these women what they can do to really get some compound interest going on what they save.
Wow. So at the end of the 52 weeks, how much will you guys have saved?
So at the end of the 52 weeks, we'll have saved $1,378, I believe it. $1,378.
I love that. All from, everyday people that think, we can't save. I can't save. I'm already robbing Peter to pay Paul and hitting Paul in the head to get that back,
Absolutely.
or maybe that was just me. Maybe that was just me. But I know I don't want to say my ignorance, but I'm talking about myself, so I could use that term. My ignorance about money, because I was never taught. I learned the lessons the hard way, and it was robbing Peter to pay Paul, and then telling Paul I needed that back to pay Mary or somebody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, how can they find out more about the money challenge?
So the money challenge, the link for that is bit.ly/Nexus Women, so that's NEXUS Women Save, Nexus Women Save. You don't necessarily have to be a part of the Facebook group to be a part of that, but we would surely love for you to be a part of the group because that's where all the action is. That's where all the action is.
And what's the name of the group is Nexus Women?
The Nexus. Mm-hmm. The Nexus.
The Nexus.
Simply the Nexus. Yep.
Okay. So, guys, make sure you definitely get in on this money challenge, because who couldn't use an extra $1,300 at the end of the year? It is posted on the Define You Radio page, Master Your Money. So all the links are there. Make sure you guys sign up for it. Knowledge is power if you use it.
Absolutely.
So, now I wanted to touch on this because, we are getting close to income tax refund time.
Yes.
What are
Yes.
those of us that get income tax back? But and this is stuff I wish I knew when I was, especially, a younger parent, or really just learning my way about finances. Because I know a lot of people get their income tax and quote unquote catch up on bills, or quote unquote go shopping, or so on and so forth. And then with my birthday being in February and my son's birthday in March, well, you guys could imagine where my income tax went. It was
Yep.
He had a good party every year. He
Yep.
can't remember them now, but he had a good party every year because I told him he was born at the right time, But that was my mindset. My mindset was wrong.
Right.
My mindset was, you were born at the right time because I could ball out of control for your birthday because Mama got income tax.
Yep.
So with that being
Yep.
said, your income
Yes.
tax recommendations.
I'm glad you asked that, because I struggled, tonight saying, do we tell them more about savings? Do we talk about income tax? That time is coming up, too, so I'm glad you asked the question.
Mm-hmm.
And so a couple of my recommendations would be, since we're talking about, children, and a lot of us who are getting income tax money back because we have dependents, when we get that money, like I said, we usually spend it on things that we don't get a return for. We go buy common clothes, we buy them these gadgets, we buy them, just stuff that after a few months won't be there, will be broken or whatever. So my advice is to pay yourself first. What does that mean? Invest in yourself and invest in your children differently. So again, start that college fund. Or maybe it's not a college fund. Maybe it's just an UGMA or an UTMA because, maybe the child may go to college. They may not. They may decide they want to do something else, get some other kind of certification or whatever. So they've got plans for that as well. But invest in your children. These are the types of things that will give you a return. And yourself. What about you? What do you want to learn? What will help you to earn more money? What about that business you wanted to start? Invest in yourself. Take that money and invest in yourself that way. Don't go buy another car. Don't go buy, these things that we typically do with our income tax money. Buying a car is not really an investment unless you absolutely need one. If you don't have one and you need one, that's a different thing. Again, my advice there is to not buy one that you have to make payments on forever. I'm all for buy cash. You don't need a brand new spanking new car because it's not worth nothing when you drive it off the lot. So invest in you. Sit down and think about what it is truly that you want to do. If it's to start that business, start it, because guess what? You will have paid yourself back 100 times over if you get that business going up and running, or if you go and take a course that will allow you to get a promotion. I think I lost him. Hello? Yes. Hello?
You've reached the Holiday Helpline. We turn the holidays into holidays.
Hi, the countdown to Christmas is on, and we still have tons of gifts to cross off our list. Help!
Time's almost up. Get to Old Navy today.
Old Navy?
Yep, right now the entire store is up to 75% off.
Up to 75% off the entire store? I'm on it.
Plus, Old Navy's got amazing last-minute gifts for the whole family for just $3, $4, and $5 in store and at OldNavy.com. Better hurry, it ends Sunday.
Gifts for $3?
Yep, last chance to turn your holiday into a holiday. Get to Old Navy today. Valid 12/20 to 12/24. Excludes gift cards. Register lane items. Jewelry today only and 2-day only deals.
When we go out to eat, we never agree on where to go.
I want burgers.
Pizza.
Tacos it is.
The one thing we do agree on is we all want unlimited high-speed data. That's why we switched to Metro PCS.
Stop by Metro PCS with the whole family and get 4 lines with unlimited LTE data for just $100, period. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figure it out.
Coverage not available in some areas. Offers require port and of number not currently active on T-Mobile network. During congestion, the fraction of customers using more than 35 gigs per month may notice reduced speeds. Video streams at up to 40p. No tethering. See store for details and terms and conditions.